Hey, thanks so much for joining me. I might do a second video, you guys, because I have so many vintage picture books, but this video will be my three largest collections of vintage books, which is Bernstein Bears Little Golden Books, and then I have these other books by like this one publisher. So some of these are newer Bernstein Bears because Jan and Stan Bernstein started out, as a team, like their husband and wife, and then they had a son named Michael Bernstein. I think I'm hoping I'm saying their last name right. Bernstein. Bernstein. I'm not sure, but the ones by their son are newer, but these were some of the ones I got for my daughter when she was a little bit older. But then the ones that are my very favorite are the ones from my own childhood. So this is the Bernstein Bears Lend a Helping Hand. If you guys are probably familiar with their books, they're all very similar. They usually kind of teach a message, a moral, the day of the dinosaur. So this one is a newer one. This one I had when I was a kid. This is the Bernstein Bears in the Summer Party. I love the illustrations, like the old hand-drawn illustrations. The Bernstein Bears Trick or Treat. This one was my daughter's. I didn't have this one when I was a kid. The Bernstein Bears Get the Gimmies. This one was mine, and I had it when I was a kid. When a cub's behavior takes a turn for the worse, it's hard for parents to know what to do first. I remember, it's like brings back so much nostalgia. I remember these images. Illustrations. The Trouble with Friends. Learn About Strangers. This was definitely mine when I was a kid. It still says my name. I remember this too. She was trying to say some people are bad apples and they had apple with worms. I remember that. Forget Their Manners. Moving Day. This one's definitely a newer one that I got for my daughter. I don't know if it's newer, but it's new. It was newer for us. The Bernstein Bears Blaze a Trail. This was another one that was hers. I didn't have this one when I was a kid. This one's definitely a used copy we bought. Okay, I saved my two favorite for last. So both of these were mine when I was a kid. I really, really loved the Bernstein Bears in the Messy Room. I really liked the inn where sister clean. I love the bear house too, the tree house. I love the inn where they clean the room and they have like Papa Bear made them this nice toy storage with the pegs, and the closet was all neatly organized. I was so inspired by this. My closet did not look like this. Like I actually had a very small house and a very shared closet. I didn't even have my own closet when I was a kid. And but I always wished I could have a closet like this when I was a kid. And I just loved this book. And then this is No Girls Allowed. This one, I loved this one. This was definitely mine. This is my handwriting. I just love this one. Sister wanted to hang out with brother. And of course, he didn't want her to at first, and then she created her own club. Oh yeah, this is a boys club on the swamp, and then they end up playing together, and then they say girls welcome. So I don't know, I always like that. So also I wanted to say that a lot of these Bernstein Bears books I bought for myself at like the Scholastic Book Fair. And then some of them, like I had a very special great aunt that actually lived next door to me, and she also had a daughter that was my cousin, and they actually purchased a lot of my books when I was a child. I don't know really how many were purchased by my mom or my grandmother. I was actually raised by my grandparents, and so my great aunt lived next door because my grandmother bought a house right next door to her sister when they first got married. So like my great aunt, she took a very big interest in my reading, and probably 95% of my books that I'm showing you guys even are from her. So these all came from the same Parents Magazine press. I'm thinking maybe this was some type of flyer or like magazine or like mail thing that maybe I didn't do research into it. I'm sure I could find out. It might have been like a catalog that they sent parents or something like that. But like these ended up being some of my just very favorite children's books. And they're not like these huge classics like, you know, Where the Wild Things Are. They didn't like gain all this, like they're very you know, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but these were just ended up being my favorites. And some of you guys may have read some of them too, so I'm going to share them. Oh, yes, let me pick my favorite for last. Okay, so I saved my favorite for last. So the first one is Pigs in the House. And a lot of these are different authors. Well, actually, this is a famous author, Frank Ash. So maybe they did reprints by this parents publisher. But this is Pigs in the House. I love this one. It's just these like pigs from the farm that get in the house, and it always, like, these images always stuck with me of the pigs on the bed. And this always made me hungry for cake when I was a kid. It's just very whimsical, cute little story, and these are just fun to read still. And this is Popcorn. This is a famous one. Actually, I think this is the most famous one, maybe. Popcorn by Frank Ash. I already said that. So this one always made me hungry for popcorn when I was a kid. And it's like a Halloween party, and they all dress up, and they have so much popcorn they don't know what to do. I love this page. Like, it always just stuck in my brain. So nostalgic. And the popcorn like filling up the house. It's so fun. This one is Henry's Awful Mistake by Robert Quackenbush. So this one also has like a very fun, it's like Parents Magazine Press, yeah. But this one's really funny. It's like taking things to the extreme of him seeing Henry the Duck seeing ants in his kitchen, and then he literally like destroys his whole kitchen trying to get rid of the ants, and then he has to move. It's like ridiculous, but it's funny, you know. And then he saw another ant at his new house, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna let that go. It's just quirky. I just love it. The Cat's Pajamas. Ida Chittum. Okay, so this is so cute. This was mine. This is about a little boy who makes his cat pajamas. My cat would never let you put pajamas on him at all. He won't even let us put a collar on him. And yeah, so I thought it was really funny. He's like outlining the cat, the pajamas, and he has like the pajamas get away from him, and he has to like find them, and then he ends up just making like a plush. But yeah, that one's such a cute vintage book. And then my very favorite that has just stayed ingrained in my brain is But No Elephants by Jerry Smath. This one I actually found at Savers. You can see the sticker. It was one of those books that I had when I was a kid, but I was somehow misplaced over the years. And I saw this at Savers thrift store, and it was just this wave of nostalgia that came over me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite books I had when I was a kid. And it's all about this man comes around with animals, and she just keeps taking more because she feels sorry for them, I guess. And she's like, but no elephants. And of course, she ends up with an elephant because she feels sorry for it. And then, of course, it takes up her whole house and, like, breaks a hole in the floor. And then she has to move with the elephant in the house. Like, I just thought the images, like, of just the house moving with the elephant. Like, this is so cute. Like, the colors. This is, to me, like, the definition of, like, 80s vintage. Like, it's so nostalgic. Look at that. Like, it's just, this would be a cute print. Like, it's just so sweet. Yeah. So now my next set is the largest set of the three, and I'm sure a lot of kids had Little Golden Books, if not Bernstein Bears and those other ones, and yeah. But I just want to show my Golden Book collection. Some of you guys might see some that you haven't seen since you were kids, and I thought that might be fun. And then some of you may have some of these, or lost yours, or like forgot about them, or vice versa. And then I'm going to share my favorite ones for last. So these are the little ones, the little tiny cute ones. This is the 3 Billy Goats Gruff. And I didn't even take the sticker off. I actually bought this at a thrift store. Sometimes when you peel the sticker off of vintage books, it makes it even worse because it peels the paint. The ink. Sorry. And so sometimes I just leave them there. But yeah, so this is just traditional fairy tale. Or not fairy tale, well, you know, nursery rhyme, nursery tale. The Little Red Hen, another, you know, very famous just story. Panda Bear's Paint Box. This one's so cute. All about the panda painting and being very proud of what he paints. And then Barney's Sandcastle. So this series of Barney, I remember a lot when I was a kid. So all of these were actually my daughter's. These weren't mine when I was a kid. I actually bought all of these at thrift stores. But a lot of them are from when I was a kid. Animal Daddies and My Daddy. So this one is very old. It was originally 29 cents. Little Brown Bear. This is another one that was my daughter's. This one actually wasn't familiar to me when I was a kid, but it's just like an old, cute little story. This is another nursery rhyme or nursery tale, The Three Bears adaptation. This is a newer one actually. This one I don't think is a vintage one. I think it's like a reprint, but most of ours are vintage, but it's still like the same vintage illustrations. So cute. Chicken Little. This is another newer one, which I believe is a reprint, but still the same vintage copy of the original. I mean, reproduction copy of the vintage original. Four Puppies. I believe this one was mine when I was a kid. Maybe I didn't fill in the name. I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't, but I think I had this when I was a kid. Maybe I lost it, and then I repurchased it for her. But yeah, it's just like four little puppies all through the seasons. This was another one. Had Mr. Bell's Fix-A-Shop. I saw this at a thrift store. Had a wave of nostalgia. I don't know if you guys get that. Like I get this like wave of nostalgia whenever I'm at like a thrift store or like online and I see this like toy or pencil or book that I had when I was a kid, but I forgot about it for like 20, 30 years. That was this book for me. I saw this book and I didn't even know that I forgot about it for so many years. And I was like, oh my gosh, Mr. Bell's Fix-A-Shop. I remember this. It's so cute. It says, Mr. Bell's Fix-A-Shop. I fix everything but broken hearts. And then there's this cute little story. Oh, like she's all sad about her poor doll. It's all disheveled and half just falling up. She's literally falling apart. And he fixes it. So cute. Oh yeah, it's like even broken hearts. There's a doll. The Color Kittens. This is another reproduction of the vintage copy, but nonetheless, this was such a cute little story. You could use this when you teach art, teaching about color. So look at this. This is my daughter's favorite book, Little Golden Book. Tawny Scarlet Lion. You guys can tell that this is like really old. It was originally 89 cents. And this was mine when I was a kid. And yeah, so this is just a classic. A lot of people probably are familiar with the Tawny Scarlet Lion. So, oh, and then the last page is torn out. Isn't that sad? The Shy Little Kitten. So cute. This is so nostalgic. I love the cover. This could be like a print you could have. I just love it. So I love the illustrations in this one. Just cute little. Mostly all the little golden books are just these sweet little stories. This is another really old one. The Saggy Baggy Elephant. So cute. Look at that. Look at the illustrations. Like, they're just so cute. The Country Mouse and the City Mouse. And other Aesop's Fables. Another very popular story. My Home. This one I bought for my daughter, but I believe it is vintage. So cute. I love this one. It's like all the different homes that animals or people could live in. Look at that. I love how they have like the camper and then the houseboat. It's so cute. Look at that. Just look at that page. Like, oh. The right house for rabbit. I love stories about little animals in their homes. Like, I just became aware of this thing called cottagecore. I might do a video on it because like I've realized like I love cottagecore, which is like cute little animals and people and like vines and gardens and like rabbits that talk, or I don't know, like maybe I'm adding the animals, but I love this book. To me is very cottagecore. This one a little bit too. The Right House for Rabbit. This one I definitely found as an adult. I actually never read this one when I was a kid, but I just discovered it, and it's this cute little rabbit going looking for a home. I found this at a used bookstore, and it's so cute. And then he has a little house in the end. So cute. So this is another retelling or, you know, adaptation of a classic story, Jack and the Beanstalk. This one I loved when I was a kid. I just loved. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. The castle. Look at the castle. Oh my gosh. Reminds me of Fisher Price Castle. I'm going to have to show that in the Instagram or YouTube video. I have the Fisher Price Castle. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. I was so scared of the giant. I was so scared for Jack. Like, oh my gosh, is he going to make it down the beanstalk? Of course he did. And it was so quirky. The Sailor Dog. This is another one I had when I was a kid, and I totally forgot about, and then I found it at a vintage store. And I got it for my daughter. It's so cute. It's a little dog that sails. Oh my gosh. Who wrote this? Oh, Margaret Wise Brown. I haven't been saying the authors. I apologize. Some of them are... So this is Margaret Wise Brown, who really is famous for, I guess, Goodnight Moon. But these illustrations by Garth Williams. He's also a famous illustrator. These remind me of Richard Scarry. But these are so cute. The Large Growly Bear. And this was a really old one too, but I actually repurchased it at Half Price Books. It was a vintage. I didn't take the sticker off because, like I said, sometimes it peels it. But yeah, so look at this, how cute. Look at that. It's just so simple. I know some new illustrators kind of like try to replicate the vintage style again, which I find charming, but I like originals. The Pokey Little Puppy, another classic. This was a reproduction of the vintage copy. Original was 1942. This one then renewed 1970, but this one's probably more like printed in the 2000s. I'm not sure when it was printed, but yeah, so this one's definitely a reproduction. The Biscuits. I'm not sure, you guys, if this was like a cartoon. I think I looked it up before. If there was an animated series, I was not familiar with it, but somehow I had this book and I loved it. Maybe it was a series. Oh, it says right here. This was from my, the Brignacks. That was from my great aunt. That was her last name. So it says in here, but she didn't sign all of the books, even though she gave me a lot of books. But yeah, so this one actually does say Holly Menard from the Brignacks. And that was my aunt and uncle's, great aunt and uncle's last name, and my cousin. So this one's just so cute, like a story. These little cute animals. Looks like bringing them out for this video was like a treat for me too, because I haven't looked at a lot of these books in years, so I totally forgot about this book. The Lively Little Rabbit. This one I found at a thrift store, but it's just like traditional cute little vintage story about little animals. The Golden Egg Book. This one we usually kind of pull out around Easter. I mean, it's technically like nature-y, about like just an egg hatching. So I didn't pull it out, but like I do have other Christmas and Easter and holiday golden books, but I took them out because I thought that'd be like a separate video, like holidays. And this is a Sleepy Book, another one by Margaret Wise Brown. This one's so cute. This one I bought for my daughter. I did not have this one as a kid, but it's so cute. Like, this is very cottagecore. So it has like some poems in here. It's not just a story. or is part of the story. Look how cute this is. Look at that little raccoon. Oh my gosh. So cute. Okay. Now, since I have so many golden books, I saved my favorite ones for last. And that would be 6. So these are my 6 favorite. And I had a hard time ordering them. Like, I can't actually... Okay, so these are my the 2 last I'm saving are my last 2 favorites. Or like the top 2 favorites. So I couldn't pick number 1. This is My Little Dinosaur. This is so cute. This was definitely mine. And actually, this was my cousin's that I mentioned. My great aunt that bought me all the books, that was her daughter. And she gave me this book. So this is a true, original, really old vintage. Because my cousin is like in her 70s now. Or she just turned 70 and I'm like 41. So this one's like really old. And my daughter really, really loved, she went through a huge dinosaur phase. So I really enjoyed sharing this with her. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Like the colors have this like like this like dreamy, like kind of like cool, yet neon, like just very vintagey. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Like the dinosaur, it's just so cute. He brings the dinosaur to class and everywhere he goes. Oh my gosh. I just really love this one. It really stayed like ingrained in my brain. Another one is, so again, it has a torn page. So I think we're missing a page here, but like I said, this one's so personal to me that I would not replace it, but and maybe it says words, but the point of the story got across, but that's, yeah, unfortunately it has a torn page. But yeah, okay. Now this one is so cute. This another one. It's not my number 1 or 2 favorite, but I love it. The Very Best Home for Me. This one I repurchased, but I did own this when I was a kid. I don't know what happened to it. Another one. It's a cute little animal book about homes. I just love those. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at the turtle and the rabbit, and you just want to eat them up. Like, they're so cute. They look like they're made of icing. They're just so, look at that. I just love this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my copy. Look at that. It's just so cute. Look at that. And then they realize they like enjoy their own space and their own habitats and stuff like that. Yeah. So cute. Okay. This one is not as much of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know why this one always stuck in my head. I had a family member who had a farm, and my cousin, sometimes I would go with him to his grandfather's farm, and we would pick strawberries, and they had a big red barn, and they had like farm animals, and I was so jealous. Like, I wanted to have a farm. And this book just like made me feel like I was living, like experiencing the farm life through this book. And this book was very special to me when I was a kid. And this is his grandfather, and like I said, it's raised by my grandparents. So also the illustrations are unique. Like, they did this like, I don't know if it's like an etching, like a print, or like just the way they did like the marks with like whatever art material they used, but they did like a lot of line art. So the illustrations are very unique, and it's all about a storm coming and where will all the animals go. And so cute. And then they eat cookies watching the rain. Oh my gosh. I used to eat Oreo cookies with my grandfather, and he used to put peanut butter on them. He ate the same dessert for like 30 years. Like, that's all he ate. As a dessert was like two or three Oreos with peanut butter. Anyway, like, it just reminded me of that. And so cute. Okay. This one is technically like more of a nursery rhyme, but the illustrations get me each time. It's The Cow and the Elephant, and it's literally like Claude Clayton Smith. This one was definitely mine when I was a kid, and it's like a song. Like, at the end they have it like the cow. I'm definitely not going to sing it. I do not have a good singing voice. It's like the cow and the elephant, and the dog went down the river on a great big log. The cow said moo, and the dog said roof, and the elephant sang along. But the illustrations just really always stuck in my head. Same thing. It has that same like kind of like burnt, like dreamy, like kind of like neon-y, but yet like, I don't know how to describe it. Like the paint, the ink is so rich and vibrant, yet it's very vintage. Like, just so, look at that. Look at that elephant right on the far hat. Like, I just can't. Look at this. It's just so nostalgic. Look at that. On a milk, in a milkshake. I just love it. Look at that, how cute. I was going to say these are my 2 top favorite. This is Mr. Dog. You guys can tell, look at this. Very old. It was originally 89 cents. This was mine when I was a kid, and who knows, maybe I'm the one who colored on it and tore out a page, which includes the intro page. But yeah, so who knows? I don't remember doing this, of course, but yeah, so I love this one. Again, it's another story about an animal in their home. I love seeing little cute, cozy animals in their home. Reminds me of the Harwood Hotel series, chapter book series. Reminds me of the Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place, even though that's not animals in their home, but it's like, it's still like Cottage Corey. Some of the other books I can name, but let me not get off track. Okay, so cute. Look at these illustrations. So he finds this boy, and he's like, "Who are you and who do you belong to?" asks the little boy. And he's like, "I'm Crispin Crispian, and I belong to myself. Who and what are you?" He says, "I am a boy," said the boy, "and I belong to myself." I love that. And then they become like best friends, and they like go to the house, and they eat together, and they sweep together and clean together. And look at how cute. Oh my gosh, I just love it. And it's like, good night and sweet dreams. And my grandmother, every night before bed, she would read me. I would go grab books. She never even had a number. She never said, oh, like we're going to read 1 or 2. Like I would just go grab like a handful of these books, and she would read them every single night, when I was a kid. And I saved my favorite one for last, kind of. Like I said, it's hard to pick, but like I said, these 2 are my really favorite. Now, this is Charlie. And so, there's my name. When I was a kid, my grandparents didn't like animals in the house. So I kind of had off and on periods with dogs, but not really. Like, we never really had a family pet. I had a dog before when I was a kid, and then I don't know what happened to it. They say it ran away. Who knows what happened? Like, I think they secretly gave it away. I'm serious. Like, it sounds trauma. I'm serious. So I never had a pet when I was like a young child. I think that's part of the reason why I became so obsessed with animals. Obviously now, like right now, I have 2 dogs and a cat. But another thing was my uncle who lived with me, because I was raised by my grandparents, that was their son. He was highly allergic to cats. And my mother was highly allergic to cats. So it was like out of the question that I could ever get a cat. As I became like a little bit older, like middle school age, I did have a dog and start to like where I was able to have dogs. But like pretty much like my whole childhood, like 0 to like 13, I didn't have like a dog or a cat or anything like that. So yeah, so this book was really special to me. It was Charlie. He's like this wild cat, but yeah, he's like really cute. And then he's like really tired of the city. Like he's like, I don't like this. And it's like you have this big cat and you have to dig for food in a garbage can. Who would want that, It's not ideal for Charlie. Who would want it if you're a cat and you can just walk around and just mosey your way to a pretty little grass, moss, pool filled area? Look at this. So there's a pond and a courtyard. That's the word I was trying to think of. And this nice lady and this nice little girl who brings them milk. So of course, Charlie finds a new home with all these nice people. And look, they build him a little house. Oh my gosh. And look, Tiger in the Grass. He's playing Tiger in the Grass, and it's so cute. Yes. So I didn't have a cat when I was a child, and then like I said, I got a dog a little bit later, and now I'm like obsessed with dogs. But to end this video, since I talked a lot about animals, I want to show you guys my cat and say bye, and thanks so much for watching. He's sleeping in the basket where I'm filming this video, and his name is Willow. We adopted him from someone in our neighborhood whose cat accidentally got out and had kittens, and he was supposed to be a girl, but they didn't know, and they said, okay, we didn't really know if we wanted a girl or boy. We didn't really care, but we were like, okay, I guess a girl. And the lady, that said such an X amount of girls and X amount of boys. So we was like, okay, we picked the girl. And then the vet, when we took him to the vet, when he was like, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 weeks, however old, the vet was like, he's not a girl, he's a boy. But we were like, okay, we already named him Willow, which is, could go either way. And I'm not, if you know the name of my daughter, like Portis, like I love names that kind of ambiguous. So his name was Willow, and so we kept that. And so, yeah, so here's Willow, and he will say bye. You can't hear him say it, but he is saying it, and he's saying thanks for watching.